because of the typical like stand-up comedian crowd work thing, but I ask it because I actually do care, and that's because I'm a people pleaser. Wait, is that okay with you guys? Okay, I'm getting some nods, so I'm gonna keep going. See, I grew up as a Midwest female in a Christian home, and all I want is to make sure everybody else has everything they need and has plenty of food in their bellies. I once asked my therapist how he had been feeling lately, to which I got a lecture about how that's not how this works. Why my people pleaser self thought I should pay him $200 a session to hear about his life is beyond me. But no, I am the worst about people pleasing and making sure everybody else is okay. I could be in the middle of my own home invasion and be like, hey, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to let you know that these restraints were kind of loose, so I went ahead and made you guys some iced tea. I know that burglarizing can be very dehydrating, and I want you guys to be able to stay with it. Also, I'm sorry the place is such a mess. Man, life has just been nuts lately. By the way, if this is a ransom situation, you're going to want to try my aunt and uncle first, then my grandma. Do not even try my parents. They don't have the money and they don't even like me that much. The robbers could stab me and I'd be laying on the floor like, hey, sorry it's taking so long for me to bleed out and die. Is there anything I can get you while you wait? Also, I noticed some of my blood on your clothes. You're going to want to hit that with a little club soda when you get home to pre-treat. You guys, my people pleasing is so bad. I will buy things in the store that I don't want just so I don't make the cashier feel bad. True story, I once spent $140 on a hair straightener so that a dude at the mall would stop talking to me, but I didn't want to be rude. I'm also like 17 seasons into the show Grey's Anatomy now because at this point I don't want to let Shonda Rhimes down, which it's okay because I'm like 3 seasons away from having my TV doctorate and education's like really important to me. I'm also currently listening to an audiobook about how to stop people pleasing so much. And the irony is I actually didn't even want that audiobook, but Audible suggested it to me and I didn't want to hurt an app's feelings. Speaking of which, how's this going for you personally?
Going good.
Going good?
Yeah.
Do you need anything?
No. Thank you.
Are you mad at me? With my people pleasing, it also comes with being easily persuaded. And you guys, I am like one barely enthusiastic ask away from joining a cult. Like, but I don't want to be the leader. That seems to have a lot of responsibility, and I don't want to be just like entry-level cult status and have to do all the scut work. No, I strictly want to be cult middle management. Like, I want hiring and firing authority, and I want to be able to be on the committee that picks out which tennis shoes that we're all going to wear on the day. I also want to be the one who picks out what flavor of Kool-Aid we're all going to drink, but I don't want to tell you to drink it, and I also don't want to pour it for everyone. So just strictly that middle manager level, and I want to be one of those annoying middle manager types. We've all had them, where they say the really corny stuff like, when there's time to lean, there's time to clean, or there's no I in team. There's a you in cult, and you need to get back to work. But even though I'm a master people pleaser, some of those other like stereotypical female traits completely pass me on by, like applying makeup. I am 35 years old, and I still don't know what concealer is, and at this point, I am too afraid to ask. I mean, doesn't the concealer sound like a CBS police drama in its 4th season that somebody's grandparents make sure to DVR every week? Probably has a Wahlberg in it, the less hot one. In contouring, I avoid the coloring book pages that are way too detailed, and now you want me to use various shades to color my face? For what? so it looks skinnier. I think unless they start making entire body contouring kits, my having a chubby face is out of the bag. Are you gonna contour away the fact that I'm out of breath from walking up here to perform tonight? No, I don't think so. And smoky eyes. How do you women do it without looking like you're at the police station identifying your attacker out of a lineup? I need all the tips and tricks. You would think, though, with all of the Barbies I played with as a kid, that I would have learned thing one about being a girl. But now I'm just an adult who's had multiple Kens, multiple houses, multiple jobs, and you will absolutely find me naked at a thrift store. So, true story, I told that joke once at a nursing home, and some creepy old grandpa said, "Which store, though?" And I just think somebody needs to go to Fort Wayne and get their peepaw. So, Happy New Year, everyone, by the way. How long can I get away with wishing you Happy New Year? Is it a thing where I can say it until it takes me to correctly write it on the first try? Because if so, I'm going to be saying Happy New Year well into the summer. How many of you like to set New Year's resolutions? Let me phrase it like this. How many of you have goals for this year? Kind of. Well, I too like lying to myself. Every year I set the same 3 goals. Get fit, get hydrated, get organized. I buy myself workout equipment, new water bottles, planners with fun stickers and pens. And each year I say, this is my year. This is the year I'm finally gonna do it. But guess what, you guys? This is not my year. This is not going well. And next year's not looking great either, to be honest with you. I think my mantra should just be, happy 2024. I know what I am. But yeah, I've been working on my weight loss journey this year, and every year since the Clinton administration. I've just always been the chubby kid. And I actually think my biggest problem is that my metabolism went on a union-approved smoke break about 30 years ago and then just sort of walked off the job. I think my metabolism used the pandemic to go back to school, get a higher paying job, and now all of my other body functions are complaining that they're understaffed and that no one wants to work these days. I want to blame genetics and tell everybody my family just has plus size genes, but at the end of the day, the real issue is I love food, I don't love to move, and every time I complete a 5K, my Apple Watch reports itself stolen. But I'm also learning a lot about what it means to be on a diet. Like, for example, I used to say, I ate some brownies. And now that I'm on a diet, I say, I accidentally ate some brownies. And logging my food is hard because, you guys, I just lie. I lie on there so hard. I could eat 2 fistfuls of Doritos, and I'm gonna log that as 2 cups mixed steamed vegetables. And also, how many gummy bears can one eat before you just log it as a gummy forest? Like, these are the tough questions I have for my fitness pal. And so then I started thinking to myself, maybe eating tacos isn't cheating on my diet. Maybe going on a diet was cheating on tacos.
Yeah.
So as you said, my name is Amanda Sauter, but my name used to be Amanda Hacker. And let me just tell you, growing up in technology with the last name Hacker is less of a blessing and more of a curse. And to make matters worse, my first initial is A. So I've logged into every computer my entire life as A Hacker. Like, hello computer, A Hacker is here, ready to log on. I thought it was supposed to be a username, not a confession. One other fun fact about me is I am a terrible driver. So my apologies if any of you were on the roadway tonight with me on our way here. I I'm terrible, but see, I'm old school. I still drive in cursive, you know? I also speed everywhere as if I'm in a high-speed chase like OJ, except I'm not fleeing the scene of anything. I just really want to get to Taco Bell. Speaking of my car, I used to live in a car for a while. This is true. My family was homeless for a while when I was a kid. It's okay, you can laugh at that. I'm laughing now that my auto insurance and my homeowner's insurance are covering two completely separate things. But no, we were super homeless. I'm sorry, that's not the politically correct term for that. I was housing deficient. I was residence challenged, as it were. See, growing up, my family was extremely poor, but I was such a dumb, naive kid, I seriously had no clue. I was so naive, I truly thought we were just camping in my mom's car with all of our belongings and zero camping gear. But part of my brain operating a little differently than most is that I have ADHD. Anybody else in here with ADHD? Yes, one brave soul back there's got it too. It's a fun affliction. We should get together when we don't plan that. But that always comes as a serious surprise to everyone in the audience that knows me personally, that's ever tried to plan an event with me that I was either super late for or didn't make it at all. But I promise I'm not being rude. My brain just genuinely thinks I can leave my house at 9:07 a.m. to be somewhere by 9 a.m. Like, the logic is not there. And it should have, I had to take one of those assessments to determine that I had ADHD. So I probably didn't even need an assessment because the very doctor's appointment to discuss it was either canceled or rescheduled by me 7 times before I ever actually got in there. But I took it anyway. And it asked questions like, were you ever that kid that had to be constantly moved around the classroom because you would talk to everybody? Or did you ever have trouble getting your assignments completed in a timely fashion? And everything I was reading was check, check, check. I was lighting that thing up like a Christmas tree. Well, at the end of the assessment, I look up at the top and I finally read the instructions, and it says to put an X in each of those boxes. So if the assessment wasn't enough, I didn't even complete it correctly. So there was a 100% chance I had ADHD at that point. This still going okay for you, bud?
Yes, ma'am.
You're not mad at me?
No.
Okay, good, good.
I'm a little irritated.
You're a little irritated. Can I get you anything?
I don't know. Water.
I'm a millennial, so of course that means I walk around like I rent the place. And but it also means I get a lot of calls that I ignore. How many other millennials are in the room tonight? Oh my gosh, millennial and ADHD? Look at us go. We both made it here tonight though, didn't we? Well, I wish my flight or fight response would kick in for something useful, but all it seems to kick in for is when I get calls from numbers I don't recognize. And it's funny because I used to spend actual real human dollars on ringtones, and now if my phone even thinks about ringing, I just throw it in the river. Another thing, I've recently started getting really into Ancestry.com. Sorry, those of us from Indiana, we call it Match.com. See, I can make that joke because my older brother really did pick up a cousin at a family reunion. His justification for it was that she was a 4th cousin's stepsister, so not technically related. However, he did use a pickup line at a social gathering designed for people who are related to each other. I just imagine he said, "Hey, come here often," in front of potato salad made by someone they both call grandma. As a female comedian, I get a lot of comments from men who say things like, "Well, I just don't find women funny." And I've just kind of decided at this point in my life that I refuse to let someone who uses a 7-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, beard wash, face wash, shaving cream, sunscreen, motor oil dictate how I'm gonna feel about myself. Anyway, that's my time, but before I go, can I get anybody anything? Is everybody okay? Are you guys mad at me?